after we went into overtime, I'm like, there's no doubt about it that we're winning this game. And we did. And it was way fun. And then after that, we just knew if we could beat TCU, we could take it all the way.
Hi, this is Mike Lacey with Beyond the Game, and I'm happy to be here with you today. Today we have one of the top athletes at BYU. She has accomplished amazing things in the last year and really during her entire life. And so it's going to be really fun to talk with Ellie Walbruch. We visited with her a year ago, but she was recovering from an ACL injury. And I think that will pique a lot of people's interest because at least at BYU, we've had a lot of experience with ACL or anterior cruciate ligament injuries in the last year. So let's talk a little bit about that. Who remembers the Wide World of Sports from ABC back? I don't know how long ago that was, but it was a very exciting intro to ABC's Wide World of Sports, which played every Saturday. Before the ESPNs of the world, everybody wanted to watch Wide World of Sports to see what had happened that week, to see the highlights. Now you get them almost instantaneously. But back then, you had to have them recorded, and we watched them on the Wide World of Sports. Remember what they said. Try to remember How did it go? Oh, gee. Now I've forgotten. The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. And while they were talking about the agony of defeat, they showed a skier who, a jumper who came off and, was in a terrible crash. But ABC Wide World of Sports, the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. It's almost a life lesson that we can learn, because can you really understand the joy or the thrill of victory until you've experienced a little bit of defeat? Ellie is going to be a perfect example today of someone who's overcome an agonizing, painful injury and come to the top of her profession. At least we call it a profession, but of her sport here in the NCAA, the women's soccer program. I don't know if we can understand those things and the thrill or the joy of victory until we've experienced some of those agonies. We can think of several sports where we've had some agony recently. There's also some sports at BYU where we've overcome great adversity and are accomplishing wonderful things. And so, I think of the two, the men's and the women's basketball programs, and how we've had interesting trajectories, but great opportunities. Because when we hear the story of Ellie Walbruch and the BYU women's soccer team, maybe we can apply that to our other sports. So in a moment, we'll be hearing from Ellie.
Construction projects are hard. Managing teams, risk, payments, and financing can be overwhelming. At Ko-Fi, we are a direct lender specializing in builder loans, providing the capital you need with the speed and certainty you deserve. Plus, our platform makes accessing those funds predictable, safe, and fast. Contact Ko-Fi today to discover flexible builder financing designed to support your project from groundbreaking to completion so you can focus on what you do best, build. Go to kofilending.com/loan programs.
As we said in the intro, today we're going to talk to one of the stars of BYU athletics, especially in the last year, but maybe of all time. She is someone who's overcome to what to me would be a terrible travesty, an injury. So we were talking about the wide world of sports, the agony of defeat, the thrill of victory. And this young lady, in the course of a little over a year, has experienced both of these. We'd like to welcome Ellie Walbruch to Beyond the Game.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Ellie, thank you. I know this is our second take on this.
I know. I don't want to be anywhere else.
Oh, your story is fascinating. So it'll be fun to do really our second episode. A year ago, you and I got together. We talked about your transferring from UCLA.
Yeah.
We talked about your injury. Tell us a little bit about that ACL injury. When did it happen and how did that happen?
So it was spring ball. So obviously our season is in the fall. So spring is just you're preparing to play in the Big 12 and basically getting reps. And it really doesn't matter. It's just scrimmages, getting faster, stronger. You're doing all the conditioning type of stuff, but you do play some scrimmages. So we were heading down to St. George to play Utah Tech on their turf field, on the turf football field. And I mean, like every other game, felt good, felt confident, was excited to play. And in the blink of an eye, I just remember dribbling a ball in the center of the field and just kind of took a step with my left foot and just got caught in the turf. And I felt the infamous pop, went down. I was in a lot of pain. Like I know some people have like, oh, I could have walked off after it, but like I was down. I knew something was wrong. I didn't want to believe it was my ACL. I was like, no, like I've been doing ACL prevention stuff since I was 12 years old. There's no way that this could have happened to me. And I think the worst part of the whole thing was just thinking, am I out for this season? Like I was supposed to have such a big impact and big role on this team. Like there's no way, like I'm letting my team down. I'm letting myself down. Like, what am I going to do without soccer? Basically is all that was going through my mind while I'm sitting there on the field. So yeah, it was a really devastating moment. I think, especially because I was feeling so good coming off that College Cup season the year before. And like, obviously getting into this bigger role on the team this year, being captain and stuff. So that was really hard. But I mean, looking back at it, I'm like, it shaped me a lot for this season and how I am as a player and as a person and as a bigger leader. I feel like I've really shaped myself because of that injury. So yeah, it was devastating, but I feel like it is a blessing in the same way.
As a freshman at UCLA the prior year, you made it to the championship cup. How far did you win the championship that year?
Yeah. So my freshman year, we ended up winning the national championship. I mean, I feel like I got good minutes as a freshman. I mean, more so during the beginning of season, but I still feel like I had an impact, whether it was training, pushing the other girls in training. So yeah, we did end up winning the full national championship, which is every little girl's dream. You know what I mean?
And your story before that is fascinating. We won't go over that because we did that episode. And in fact, I'm going to highlight that episode so that people can see what you did in your training that was pretty unique, as far as women's athletics, because there's so much more to talk about. This past year, I don't want to highlight too much here, but let's go to the final thing. I have not a video here. I have a picture, the confetti picture. Zach, can you show me that confetti picture?
Oh, it's peak life right there.
Are you seeing it?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I see it.
Okay, I'm not seeing it on my screen, so that's okay. It reminds me of that bowl game that our football team went to and all the confetti that was coming down and just the joy of victory. A year earlier when you had that ACL, could you envision the ups and downs and particularly the ups near the end of the season? I don't want you to give away what happened in the championship game or your role in it yet. But could you envision that?
I mean, It's hard to look back because, I mean, I feel like people see the games and they see the goals, they see the wins, but I feel like I didn't see that months before it, all the work I put in. Obviously, like, I just wanted to get back to 100% of my body and just hope and pray that I would be the same player or even better than I was before the injury. So I feel like for me, like, yes, that was always in the back of my mind, the goals I had. And I mean, I have goals on my mirror that I chased every day, going through rehab, just in the back of my mind. So yeah, I think it was in the back of my mind, but I kind of had to stay present and not get my expectations too high, because if I didn't achieve those, it was kind of would be hard for me, because I'm the type of person who wants the best, and I put that pressure on my back every single day. So I think for me, just getting to that point in season and just coming back better, I think, than I was before was really huge for me. And I think I give a lot of credit to myself and working super hard during those moments where I had bad days or I was sad that I was on the field, but kind of having that positive mindset, I think, helped me reach this moment.
And wow, at one point in at the end of the season, you guys were 11, 7, and 6. So in soccer, 11 wins. That's good. 7 losses.
Not
Go ahead.
good.
I'm sorry. Yeah, but what you did from that point is, or earth shattering. It's so fun to think, maybe your expectations, but I remember a year ago when we spoke, you were talking about how young this team would be.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have a young team, when you bring together these new people, it takes time. There's a learning curve, right? To work together as a team.
For sure.
And so anyway, 11, 7, and 6, you had more losses and ties together than you had wins. And so I saw that you were the 8th and last team to make the Big 12 conference tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that mean? Who's your first competition going to be against?
Number 1 seed, baby.
And where is that going to be?
Yeah, so number 1 seed at TCU, where they were the number 1 seed. So home team advantage for sure.
And I saw that TCU at the time was ranked either 4th or 5th in the country.
Yeah, mm-hmm. They had a great year.
And you weren't ranked at the time, were you?
No, I don't believe so.
But so let's just contrast this feeling.
Yeah.
Because Ellie, you had experience with UCLA. You'd overcome that injury. So the prior year, did you have to sit out the prior year?
So UCLA, I was there my freshman year, and then my sophomore year I was healthy, so played a full year with BYU. And then that junior year, going into my junior year, that spring of my junior year, that's when I tore it. So I had to sit out that whole fall.
So you redshirted?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is fascinating to me what your team was able to do from this point forward, because you're meeting TCU on their home field, and they're one of the top 5 teams in the country.
Yeah.
I can't think of odds that are.
What are the odds in our favor? Nothing. Exactly. Exactly.
If it was a football, American football game, the score, the expected score would have been like by 3 touchdowns. That the higher rated team is going to win.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about that game.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, obviously there was a lot of ups and downs in the season. I mean, I think after that UCF game where we kind of had our backs against the wall and we kind of had to win, we ended up losing. I think that was probably a lot of the girls on the team's lowest points in the season, because it was just like, are we seriously not going to make the Big 12 tournament? Like, all this hard work, all this preparation, like it's going for nothing. But then we ended up having Utah, and we played a great game against Utah up at the Ute Stadium. And then by the luck of the draw, we needed Arizona and Arizona State to tie, and they did.
Wow.
So we ended up getting that 8th seed. And obviously we were very, very excited to be in that position just to make the tournament. So, and kind of our outlook on it as a team was like, we're the underdogs. Like, let's put all the pressure on them, and they had all the pressure. And I feel like for us, that's very unlike BYU sports. I feel like BYU always has the pressure on their back, whatever sport you're playing. So we kind of took it as in like TCU, they're at home, they're the number one seeded team. They got pressure on us. Let's just go out, let's have fun, and let's ball out. And I think we just had such a good mindset going in, like, let's play with freedom, let's just create the most of our opportunities. And I think just going in, we were all so fired up and wanted to make a statement of being underdogs. So yeah, we just went in, scored some good goals, and then, I mean, we ended up going into PKs. But I think all of us on the PK line stepping up were confident, and we knew that we were gonna win. After we went into overtime, I'm like, there's no doubt about it that we're winning this game, and we did, and it was way fun. And then after that, we just knew if we could beat TCU, we could take it all the way.
All right, Ellie, just for those who may not, I mean, by now with Olympics, the World Cup, and how popular soccer has become, I think most people understand that a PK is a penalty kick. But for those who don't, I just want to, because my son was a goalkeeper at BYU.
Oh, yeah.
And so I've met and talked with Jennifer Rockwood, and you guys have a unique situation. Michael on the men's team, it wasn't an NCAA sport, but they had back then a club sport.
Yeah.
Which, well, it wasn't even a club sport. It was part of the like a semi-pro team.
The semi-pro league, yeah.
Right. So anyway, goalkeepers have all this pressure on them because when you go into PKs, the ball is placed, what, 10, 12, 15 yards in front of the goal?
Yeah, it's 12 yards. 12 yards away from the goal. And it's just you and the keeper.
The ref puts the ball down on the ground. The kicker might move it around a little bit just to get it teed up as best he can, or he or she. And the goalkeeper is moving around trying to, but he or she has to be right in the middle. That's the rule. And then you have the whole goal to shoot at as one of the shooters. And then they're trying to stop it. And the best out of 5 wins the PK, therefore wins the game. That's the overtime rule, right?
Right.
And how did that go? What, for example, with Jennifer, who does she want shooting first or last? What order do you go in?
Yeah. So basically, I mean, PKs are a very high pressure situation, more so for the people kicking the ball, because you have more pressure on yourself. I mean, goalkeepers, you're not really supposed to save one, but if you do, you're a hero. You know what I mean? So
right.
For us, it's just basically who's confident, who's been practicing them the week prior, and she chooses the 5 kickers, and then basically it's just in a random order. She'll say, Ellie, you're going to go second. Lucy, you're going to go third. I mean, it's kind of just random order, but I mean, if you're not confident, you're going to say, hey, I don't feel confident, and the next person will step up. But I mean, we went into PKs 3 times this season, and we had the same kickers. So we were just confident, and we knew our place. I mean, after you do one PK shootout, I feel like it's kind of nerves off your back a little bit. So yeah, we went in, and in the TCU game, all of us made them 5 for 5. So it was pretty fun. That was a way fun game.
That is amazing. But you went to their home.
Yeah.
First game of the tournament, and you beat number 1. That's phenomenal. Your next game was against number 23 rated in the nation, Baylor. And where did you play that game?
So Baylor, we ended up playing them at TCU as well. But once we won, the final that was going to be at Baylor's field. So basically, we kicked TCU off their home field, and we kicked Baylor a chance of them going to play back at their home field. So that was a pretty fun game too, because I mean, they kicked our butts in regular season when we played them at their field. They ended up winning 4-2. So we just, like I said, like we went into that game with like the pressure's on them. They're the higher seed. They're supposed to win. And just with that mentality, we just played with such freedom, and we played so good. I think that was one of the best games we played, like as a team, as a whole. Scored 4 goals on them. I mean, they have a great back line, great keeper. So yeah, it was a blast. I mean, looking back at the Big 12 championship tournament and stuff, it was just like that's peak life of soccer right there, because it's like you never think underdogs can do it until they do, and so we just had to make that statement.
I love that. I mean, think about, you had a young team.
Yeah.
You're one of the captains, and you probably have more experience than most of the young ladies on the team. And so there's all sorts of responsibility. These your whole team has, especially the young ladies, have gone up that learning curve.
Right.
And now you're playing really well as a team at the end of the season when it matters the most.
Exactly. We peaked at the right time, that's for sure.
I love it. All right, so you go and you play Baylor. They had beaten you 4-2 during the season.
Yeah.
But now you take them down 4-0.
Yeah.
I mean, again, likening it to my sport, American football, and I say American football because, soccer is football in the world. 4-0 to me is kind of like 48-0 on the football field.
No, for sure. It's a butt kicking, because, I mean, 4 goals, like scoring goals is hard in soccer. It's not an easy thing. So once you get one, you're like, okay, but scoring 4 and against they were ranked in the top 10, I want to say, against a top 10 team in the nation, was kind of making a statement that, yeah, we're here to play. Let's go.
Ellie, what a fantastic. So, all right, I know. All right, I'll jump ahead of the thing a little bit. You broke the record for Big 12 tournament goals. You broke the record. You made 5 goals during the tournament, 3 games of the tournament. How many did you make in that Baylor game?
So in the TCU game, I scored the 2. So it was 2-2, and then we went into PKs and won. And in the Baylor game, I scored 2 as well. So had back-to-back braces in those games, which was pretty fun.
I guess if people know math, then I've kind of given away this championship game too.
Dang it, that's my bad.
No, it isn't. Seriously, I am celebrating this soccer victory because as a dad and as a soccer coach for my 6 children, it's just a joy to see a beautiful game. And in Brazil, what do they call it in Brazil?
I think it's a beautiful game.
It's the beautiful game or something like that.
Exactly.
And so it is a beautiful game. When you understand the rules, the offside rules, the beauty of, one touch versus dribbling.
Exactly.
It's a cool game. And anyway, so you get in and you're playing Kansas in the championship game. No number 8 seed team had ever won the Big 12 championship. And all right, let's play the video. Let's cue up the video of we're actually talking to the star of this game. This is fun.
So we saw her offensively on one end, inline to inline stop from Gregorski. Walbruch will test things from distance, and it's a classic. Ellie Walbruch. All she does is score bangers in the Big 12 tournament, her 5th of this postseason.
I love the look of her face.
It was a slow start to 2025, but she has found her stride when it matters the most.
It's reminiscent of the goal against TCU. You just can't give her any inch of space. She knows where to be, right place at the right time, and she can take these from distance. Look at the power, the precision there from Ellie Walbruch.
Oh, that's good. Brings me back. It's a good memory.
when you see something like that, it has to put chills down your spine. That's fun.
For sure. Oh, that was so good. What a good game.
And only 18 months earlier, you were on. I think we had a video in that episode or a picture of you down on the ground in pain.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a basketball team and a young man, and actually more than one, who have suffered that ACL injury. What counsel do you have for people who who now suffer the ACL.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very hard injury. I mean, you don't want to wish that injury, especially upon your worst enemy. I feel like, especially where I was at, tearing my ACL was the lowest point in my career. Especially because like that season prior, everything I worked for, I just feel like it just disappeared in that one split second. So I feel like people don't talk about it enough, like how much mentally taxing it is on you, not just physically, but like the mental side, having to sit and watch your team's successes or your team's like chances kind of running away that you wish you could have had. And the worst part I feel like for me that I had was just doubting if I would be the same player I was before my injury. I think that was the hardest part, is just like, what if I'm not as fast as I was? What if I not as strong as I was? What if I can't score goals as well as I did? I think the what ifs was the thing that was most taxing. But I think just slowly, after rep by rep, sprint by sprint, I feel like I built this better version of myself. Whether that was physically, mentally, like I said, the leadership aspect, I feel like was a big thing that I learned, was just taking every day and just running away with it, being grateful for that day that I did have. And like I said, like coming back and having the best year of my life wasn't luck. It was a bunch of hard work and resilience that it was hard to be out. Like I did wait the full year. So that was a big thing for me, but it was built in the training room, in the lonely mornings and the tears no one really saw. So I would just say taking day by day of really working for yourself. This time you can be selfish to get back. Obviously, having a positive mindset, I think, was a big thing for me, especially once I did tear my ACL. I was like, I could take this two ways. I could feel sorry for myself and kind of like be a lonely doubter and kind of think all these things. But I gave myself 2 days, and then my comeback started right when I got surgery, and I was hitting the ground, doing rehab, doing prehab, really just doing everything I could to be back. And I think the ACL didn't end my story. It kind of refined it. And I feel like my comeback was earned with just lots of hard work and support from my support staff. And yeah, I'm just really grateful. Like I kind of look back and thought it was a trial in my life, but now I kind of look back. Yeah, I wish it didn't happen, but it was a blessing, and I learned a lot about myself through it.
Wow. Wisdom from Ellie Walbruch.
Oh, geez. I hope
No,
so.
seriously. We all learn from that. I mean, isn't that a metaphor for life?
Right.
You know?
100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's a true principle that we can't really understand happiness or joy unless we've suffered a little bit. And I mean, it just makes me feel even happier knowing what you guys ended up doing. You used a word that I love, and some could misunderstand it. You said you had to be a little bit selfish to work on yourself. It reminds me when you get on the airplane, if there's something dangerous that's happening, who puts on the air mask first when there's a child next to you?
Yourself. You first.
If you're not there, you're not going to be able to help your family.
Yeah.
And so in that sense, a selfish attitude of bringing yourself back so that you're able to help you and your family or your team.
Right.
That's a true principle. That's good.
Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, like if you're not your best version of yourself, there's no way you can help your team. So obviously you don't want to be that Debbie Downer, but to kind of taking a break and working on yourself and what makes you happy is going to ultimately make your team better in the end of the day.
You're right. Again, wisdom. So, I mean, the pregnant question left is, do you on that leg feel as confident as you were before?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think I feel even more confident. I never have a doubt in my knee at all. And like, I think that all goes back to my prehab and rehab. I mean, I started that right away. So I think that's the biggest difference. It really doesn't matter what graft you do or what surgeon you go to. It's all about the rehab you're doing and making sure it's intense. And I mean, because if it's not intense and you're just kind of lackadaisical during it, there's no way you're going to be able to step back on the soccer field or the basketball court feeling 100% confident. So, yeah, I just give a lot of credit to my support staff, my physical trainers, my PT, my athletic trainer, because without them, I wouldn't feel as confident. But I feel like for me, like, yeah, I did wait that full year, and I think that was really beneficial. But I would say I felt confident on my knee probably 6 months after my surgery. So, but I mean, with the ACL, it's time. So that's the hard part. It's the time that you have to wait. But waiting all that time was really beneficial for me. And yeah, I'm really grateful to have come back as well as I did.
And now you're coming into your senior year.
Yeah.
You're coming in with a team that's mostly now experienced, and
Sure.
they know what it was like. In fact, tell us about your experience I know you made the Sweet 16.
Mm-hmm.
So how was the NCAA tournament? Because I saw that BYU, by one report, was ranked as high as number 11 or 14, and by the coaches poll, number 20. So you made the top 25.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact that you as a young team had to work your way up.
Yeah.
What's going to happen this coming year with this team?
Yeah, I mean, the NCAA tournament was really fun. Obviously, we wish we made it further, but I think we grew a lot as a team. Even coming back in January, watching that Stanford game, obviously that was a big blowout for us and embarrassing, to be honest. But I think we looked at film and we looked at, yeah, we're not that good. We're not good enough. And that's the standard we kind of have to keep ourselves to. If we want to be a national contender for a national championship, like, we got to be better technically. And comparing ourselves to that Stanford game has been huge. And I think just in the spring, like, we're working a lot on our technical stuff and just getting better. I mean, that's the end goal, is we just want to be better and we want to compete for that national championship. And we think we can with the experience that we have returning. And obviously with the new girls, they've bought into BYU soccer. So we're just really excited. We got a tough preseason like Jen always does for us, which always is good for us because it prepares us for NCAA and Big 12 tournaments. So we're just excited. We're hungry. We have girls who have been out a year who are actually returning from injury as well. So we're just going to be a whole brand new team this year. And I can't wait to see it all kind of come together.
I can't wait to see it either. You guys,
it's exciting.
Expectations are, give us a thrill and excitement.
For sure.
And then fulfilling those expectations is the challenge. And
exactly.
So you said your team is hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And the loss to Stanford, maybe would have
fueled that fire. It fueled that fire for sure.
I love it, Ellie.
It's still
I want to one more thing. Say that again. I'm sorry.
I said it's still a little bit of a sensitive subject. I'm still. I need a year, I think.
So spring ball, is it going right now?
Yeah. So we actually just played our first few games on Saturday. Went well. We won and we tied. We played 3 games. So we played a 30-minute against Idaho State. We beat them. We played Utah. We tied them. And then we played Weber State and we beat them. So just getting back to some spring games. It's been fun. And it's been fun to see the new girls kind of step on the field for the first time in the uniforms.
I love it. All right. There was one more thing. I'm going to ask Zach to bring the picture of shooting form that we have. Can you see that?
Yes, I can.
All right. So I like to play golf and tennis. And the shooting form when you're hitting a golf ball or a tennis ball is absolutely the same. I love your form here because you're not looking at where the ball's going. Where are you looking here?
At the ground.
Well, you're looking at where the ball was.
Exactly.
And that's what you have to do to hit a ball properly. When you look at the best tennis players, the best golfers, and this could be a golf swing here to me. You're hitting this ball, and of course the ball has now taken off from your foot, but your gaze, your head, all your concentration is where that ball was a tiny split second before. when you hit it. I love that form. Is it an issue in soccer if one of the young ladies is kind of looking ahead and looks away from the ball?
I mean, you might not get as much power on it because you are already looking at the goal, but I mean, I've always been taught to stare at the ball until the ball leaves my foot. Even when it leaves my foot, I'm still not really looking at the ball when it leaves my foot because I already know where it's going to go if I have the right form and technique. So, yeah, I mean, this is a pretty cool shot. I think this was my TCU goal, which is you can kind of tell with my right foot. It's kind of pointed open a little bit. So I hit this with an instep. So it was basically instep curling away from the keeper.
So it went to the outside post?
Yeah, so it was going kind of inside. So if you think
And I love how you can bend the ball with that.
This was a bender near post, and then if we watch the Kansas one, that was a strike where it kind of hit a knuckleball and went the other way with so much power.
Went over her head.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's pretty cool. Techniques,
It's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
But in golf, you really have to, what do they say? Keep your head down, keep your head down, keep your dang head down, Lacey.
I love that. I say for soccer, if you don't keep your head down, you're skying that thing to South Nam. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Exactly.
Ellie, you're a joy to visit with. I hope that you'll talk to some of your teammates. We need more of the women's sports athletes on our program.
Yeah, would be awesome.
Love to get some help from you in visiting with some of them.
For sure.
Your story is uplifting for anybody and everybody. Would you like to share anything else with us before we end?
I don't think so. I think just the biggest thing, just believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, other people won't. And I think that was a big lesson I learned this last season. And truly, I didn't start believing in myself probably till middle of Big 12. And once I did, I kind of got out of my drought and just took off. So I'm just excited for this season to continue to believe in myself and go after my goals because I know I can accomplish them. So I'm just super excited and appreciate everyone supporting the women's soccer team. It's been a blast this last year.
There was one thing I didn't share that I was really impressed with. BYU's always had really good attendance, but your cumulative attendance or total attendance for BYU women's soccer was number 1 in the country.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah, and I love at whatever sport you're attending, usually the crowd is really involved and loves 100%. Watching. 100%. They're so supportive. What's your feeling as an athlete on the field?
Oh, it's so amazing, especially to see so many BYU fans at our games is so surreal because it gives us confidence. Having people have energy gives us energy. So it's just so fun. And I mean, talking to my UCLA teammates who came and played here, everyone just loves playing at South because it's this is an NCAA. This is what an NCAA tournament game feels like. So to have that atmosphere at every single home game is huge. And even our away games, the crowd is mostly in blue supporting us. So that's always fun too, to see so many BYU fans nationwide. So, I mean, BYU supporters are the best, and just continue to bring that energy because we appreciate it so much.
And we appreciate you and your teammates. May you have a wonderful spring ball. May you have a wonderful summer, and then be ready for that season that comes up in the fall.
For sure. Thanks so much, Mike, for having me on. I appreciate it.
Ellie, thank you. We likewise feel the same. Best
Love
of luck.
it. Give me that beyond the game juju. I need it.
You got it, sweetheart. You keep
Love
going.
You. Thank
Good job.
You.
Construction projects are hard. Managing teams, risk, payments, and financing can be overwhelming. At Ko-Fi, we are a direct lender specializing in builder loans, providing the capital you need with the speed and certainty you deserve. Plus, our platform makes accessing those funds predictable, safe, and fast. Contact Ko-Fi today to discover flexible builder financing designed to support your project from groundbreaking to completion so you can focus on what you do best, build. Go to kofilending.com/loan programs.
Construction projects can be hard. That's why they wear hard hats. Managing teams, risk, payments, and financing can be overwhelming. Ko-Fi is a direct lender specializing in builder loans, providing the capital you need with the speed and certainty you deserve. Contact Ko-Fi today to discover flexible builder financing designed to support your project from groundbreaking to completion. Go to kofilending.com/loan programs to obtain your loan for construction. That was a blast visiting with Ellie Walbruch. Her story is one that applies to all our lives. And it's fascinating to think. I mean, really, when you think about the miracle of life that we all enjoy here, whether it's the grace of God, the grand plan of nature, or even of evolution, our lives here on this earth are a unique experience filled with joy, filled with sadness sometimes. But without the joy, without the sadness or pain and failure at times, how would we enjoy or even be able to experience the joys of victory or of success in whatever we're doing? So Ellie and the BYU soccer team were a good example of overcoming adversity and then accomplishing more than what was expected. That ACL injury has cropped itself up in the lives of too many of the young men and women that we admire on our sports fields. And Ellie's a good example of coming back, feeling confident. And confidence is a critical thing, not just in sports, but when you're raising your children, when you're working in your job. Having confidence or a belief that I can do what I'm responsible to do not only lifts yourself, but it lifts those around you. She said, that how could her team trust in her if she didn't have that confidence, if she didn't exude that confidence? And I'm not talking about having a super high ego, but having confidence to accomplish what she's trying to do. And the victory was even more joyful. And now they have a little bit higher hill to climb this year as far as their goals are concerned. So I'm wishing the best for Ellie Walbruch and the BYU women's soccer team. But I also think of people like Richie Saunders. We saw him suffer that ACL injury. That miracle of life. Our bodies aren't perfect. They are subject to failure at times, or sickness or illness. All you have to do is step off a curb wrong and you can injure your knee. And Ellie was injured, but now a little more than a year later, experiencing some of the greatest joys of victory, and now having the opportunity to even experience more. We didn't even talk about her personal life, which I saw on Instagram or whatever, that she's had some wonderful experiences in her personal life too, having, I think, been married this past year. But anyway, we'll go on. We'll see you on our next episode of Beyond the Game. Thank you for being with us.